What's up, world? It's your boy, you already know. You know what I'm saying? Llewellyn C. Bradford II, Hollywood Lou. That's Lou, man. I'm back with another episode of Dwellin with Llewellyn, episode 2. Today we're going to be talking about journey. Boy, aren't we all on a journey? You know what I'm saying? As long as we here breathing, we're still on the journey. I'm going to share something with y'all, something I wrote earlier this year. Those that don't know, and those that do, well, I guess it don't matter if you do, right? It's something that you already know. But I do poetry as well as I'm an actor. But I wrote a book called Dream on Dreamers, a book of inspiration, which is inspirational poetry. I used to host open mics. I used to do a lot of spoken word. And yeah, so this is something I wrote in February, like 10 in the morning, almost 11 in the morning. I'm going to share with y'all, and we're going to move on with the topic at hand. All right? So, you know what I'm saying? Listen, pay attention, be blessed, be inspired. You heard me? You feel me? It's a blessing to rise again. Breath in my body, yet again. Walking in purpose, choosing forward progress, knowing my faith is working, yet again. Danger in not believing, faulty not hoping, evidently not seeing, but the evidence is my being. Truthfully, I'm already victorious. This is the day the Lord has made, how glorious. Loss isn't a testament of my life, but one step after another is. Movement through miry clay is. Quicksand that couldn't hold me down. From dark to light, pain to progress, he ain't messing around. The sun will always shine again. Seize the moment. The day will always be mine again. See, the beauty in falling down is that we can always, and I mean always, get up again. Dream on, dreamers. I wanted to talk about journey, man. I was trying to figure out what was going to be the next topic, and I prayed about it. I referenced stuff in church on Sunday, and just been thinking, wondering what I was going to talk about, and so many different things. And I'll have different topics as this series continues on. But I landed on journey, and let me tell you what Merriam-Webster says, the definition of journey. It's the act of traveling from one place to another. It can refer to a physical trip, i.e. flight or a train ride, or be used as a metaphor to describe a progression, process, or personal growth over time, such as the journey to self-discovery. Now, dictionary.com says that the literal definition refers to physical movement across a distance. Unlike a trip, which implies going to a destination and returning, a journey focuses on the process and experiences encountered along the route. Now, the metaphorical meaning is a journey representing a transition from one state or stage of life to another, i.e. healing, career development, or learning. It emphasizes the notion that the process and experiences of getting there are as important as the final goal. Journey traces back to the Middle English journey derived from the French journée, hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, which means a day's work or a day's travel, which ultimately originates from the Latin diurnus, meaning daily. That's from Merriam-Webster. Got to give credit, right? And sometimes, that's how we get to these phrases, a safe journey or a journey of a lifetime, journey to success. Often with my family, when we, in our group chat, and somebody is traveling or leaving, going somewhere, we always say safe travels. You say it, we all say it, safe travels. And I believe that, we all going through our journeys in life and experiences. So that was a word that was referenced a lot. Experiences. And one more thing, I got to give you some hindsight here is, you know what? let's go back to that. Let's go back to that. Because I want to touch on experiences. Like I told you, and many know, I'm an actor, I'm a writer, I'm an entertainer, I'm an inspirer. I believe that I walk in purpose. I believe that God blessed me with gifts and talents to share with the world. And I'm meant to inspire people using the gifts and talents that He blessed me with. And my journey hasn't necessarily been the easiest. You know, choosing this field of work isn't for the faint of heart. When I came here, as I told you on the last episode, it was a one-way flight, $500, 2 duffel bags, nowhere to live. And I've been here 17 years. I'm still on my journey. My experience has been challenging, to say the least. Obstacles over and over and over again. I'm not where I thought I would be, where I would like to be, but I'm right where I'm supposed to be. And you need to look in the mirror yourself. Take that moment of reflection and realize you're right where you're supposed to be. You're supposed to dream big. You're supposed to set lofty goals. And to accomplish them, you have to move. See, that's what goes back to that word journey, because it relies on movement. Shameless plug for my book. I say in a piece, you can't stumble across anything if you're not walking that direction already. That involves movement. That's why journey is so big, because for you to go from one stage to the next stage, from one state to the next state, from one goal to the next goal, from one step to the next step, you got to move. Now, just because you're not where you wanted to be or you thought you would be, doesn't mean you give up. Doesn't mean you quit. Doesn't mean the journey is over. Now, this takes me back to the point I was about to make that I wanted to get back to. You know, because I mean, I ain't perfect by any means, right? But I know who is, and my faith is what keeps me going, what has kept me going, what has me right where I am today. And I'm gonna reference Philippians 1:6, which says, "Being confident in this very thing, that He which hath begun a good work in you will perform it until the day of Jesus Christ." Then Psalm 77, which is talking about being reminded of who God is and what He's done. So if you think about your life right now, today, right? And if you know that God put something inside of you to accomplish, well, you know that He already said it's going to be done, because He meant for us to have victory. He didn't set us here to have negative lifestyles and horrible experiences. That's because we make certain decisions and we have to suffer the consequences of the decisions that we make. He already said that whatever He said in us, we just have to be confident and trust that it's going to come to pass, because He already begun that great work even before we were born. That's another reference to the Bible. He talks about even before we were put in our mother's womb, that He had already, the story is already done, is already written. And that's victory. That's success. That's glory. That's greatness. You know what I'm saying? So to accomplish that, though, you got to believe it. You got to know it. And you got to move on it. Hence the fact why I moved to California. Once I realized I wanted to be an actor, there wasn't no sense in staying in Virginia. I love the crib. Don't get it twisted. I love the crib. I love my people at the crib. But the business is called Hollywood. It ain't called New York. It ain't called Chicago. No, you know what I'm saying, negative like hit on any of those places and my people in those places, you know what I'm saying? But I wanted to go to the source. I wanted to go to the epicenter. And you do what you got to do for you and your goals and what you're trying to accomplish. You know, it ain't just acting. I mean, it's the business world. It's the fitness world. It's the educational space. It's any avenue of life. We're all on a journey, and we're all looking to accomplish our goals and reach our destination. My mom always says that marriage is a destiny decision. I think about that in everything. Your friendships, your business relationships. If none of these relationships are helping move you closer and closer to your goals, to achieving destiny, well, then your journey is a little off, ain't it? The travel is a little off. I mean, let's say if you're on the plane and your trip says you're supposed to be going to New York or Ireland, shout out to my son, or or Africa, any of these places, right? And all of a sudden you fall asleep and you wake up and you off course. You gonna feel away. You're gonna get a little flustered. You're gonna get a little irritated. You're gonna get a little nervous. Same thing in our journeys in life. When we get a little off course, when we hit a little detour, we get a little flustered. We get a little nervous. We get a little shooken up or shaken up. Things start to be uncomfortable. Now, there's two ways to look at uncomfortability. You could be getting pruned. You could be getting prepared for what's to come, or you made some difficult, some tough, some wrong, flat out said, some wrong decisions along the way, right? You probably did some things that now you got to suffer those consequences. You got to reap what you've sown. But that don't mean God left you. That don't mean you're not going to get to where you're supposed to be, where you want to be. Don't mean that at all. So don't get stagnant. Don't stop. I tell you all the time, man, I don't even know what it is to quit. My mom raised 7 children. She the realest G I know. And that's why I don't know how to quit. My daddy, God rest his soul, you feel me? Both of them told me to do what you got to do what you want to do. Ain't none of that involved quitting. All of it involved movement. That's doing. Doing involves movement. Spectating is my least favorite sport. I'm a doer. Well, how can I do if I don't move? And if I ain't moving, then I ain't on no journey. But I'm still on my journey right now, and there's a rhythm to it. So you see how that swag, walk like a ball player. Yeah, man, it's a rhythm to this journey. We got to keep going. We got to keep moving. Keep putting one foot in front of the other. You know what I'm saying? And eventually you're going to get there. And it may seem like, this ain't it. And you might have to pivot. Don't get it twisted. Now, you know what I'm saying? You might, it's just like in school. Like I talk to students, I've spoken to kids all over the country, 4th graders all the way up to adults, right? Grad students included. And I've talked to them about creating good habits. And sometimes, we create these bad habits and they affect us in the long run. Well, bringing this full circle in this particular moment in reference to how things can change is that sometimes when you get to school, you've selected these things that you want to accomplish and it might not end up being the thing that you do. And that happens. But you've created good habits. I mean, you're a hard worker, you're diligent, you're resilient, you're determined. You won't let nothing stop you. Yeah, that's it. That's it right there. Because it don't matter if you got to pivot. You've already created a strong foundation. You got a solid grounding underneath you for you to walk on, for you to move. Yeah, that's it, for you to move. Yeah, man. I'm a dreamer. And I don't mean that as I just look up in the stars and hope for something to happen. Nah. I mean, I'm a go-getter. I mean, I'm a make it happen. I don't play no games with what I love. I don't play no games with my passion. Sometimes it's got me in trouble. I'm very passionate. And I've had to learn how to communicate in an effective manner, eloquently, still be strong but not hurtful, express passion without pain, but pain is a part of the progress and progression is a part of the journey. But you got to stay focused. You got to stay focused. You got to keep going. I believe in you. But you got to believe in you. So your journey is your journey. You weren't given that vision just because. You weren't given that vision because it's somebody else's. You were given that vision because it's yours. My vision is mine. Yours is yours. And it's up to you to go and get it, to go and take it. And you might have to take it by force. Now, that don't mean go kicking nobody's door. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean go run up in nobody's spot. Lou said, go get my vision. And you got, no. Hold on. I ain't saying all that. What I'm saying is, that you can't just lay down and expect it to just come to you. You can't just sit there and wait for it to happen. You got to take viable steps to accomplish your goals and your dreams. You can't go from one place to the next. You can't go from one state to the next, one stage to the next to accomplish anything if you don't move on the journey. And as the definition referred to healing, career development, learning. You think about it. I mean, when somebody is going through a cancer battle, God bless everybody that has lost somebody to cancer. I love y'all, man, and I pray for y'all. And I'm so sorry that you even had to go through that. I'm sorry for your loved ones that lost that battle. And the ones that are fighting right now, I pray for you, speak life. With that being said, you're on a journey. Those that lost people, those that are fighting, those that may come across, and I don't wish it upon you, but the choice to fight is a part of your journey. That's an actionable step. That's going to get it. That's doing. That's moving. That's your journey. It ain't your only part. That ain't your whole journey. It's a part of your journey. Because as long as we got breath in our bodies, we got something to do. We're responsible for our life, for our goals. There are people that are attached to us for the things that we accomplish based off of how we move and what we do. We talk about fruits of the labor. That's our people. When we work, we put in the effort, you get to bless others. The Bible talks about not being borrowers and being lenders. I've been blessed to lend, and I've also had to borrow. Ultimately, I want to be the biggest lender. I want to lend so much in a way I don't even got to think about getting it back, That's about mindset. It's about perspective. I talked about that before on the first episode. And it all comes together. You got to have a solid perspective on your journey to accomplish your dreams and goals. You got to be thinking forward, positive thinking, forward progress. You can get lost somewhere. You rather keep going forward than go backwards. I'll say right now, man, I've been in this acting business 17, 18 years this year. First time I ever got paid to act, 2008. And ain't no going back. I'm in the middle of the ocean. What am I gonna do? Turn around, swim back to shore? That ain't my journey. Not that I know, not that God told me. Nah, I mean, right now I got on my merch. This is the Llewellyn Radford brand. That's a lion with a crown. I'm a king. I'm a leader. I'm ferocious. I'm a beast. I'm a goat. I don't know how to quit. I don't know how to give up. I know how to keep going on my journey. I know how to get to it. That's why we're here right now. This is some of my thoughts that I'm sharing. These are some of the conversations I have with my people, my friends, my family, my associates, peers. That I'm leaping out on faith, that I'm being vulnerable. This is a part of my journey. It's part of my process. It's part of my purpose. Figure out what your purpose is. If you already know what your purpose is, step into it all the way. If you in it, keep going. This journey is real, but it's yours. And you got this. Don't forget that. You got this. Keep journeying. Keep believing. You know what? That's another thing before I go. When I first started looking up the word journey, the first thing that came up was the band and the song Don't Stop Believing. Isn't that ironic? It's not ironic. Don't stop believing. Keep going. A dream is not just something that happens while you sleep. It's something that you can, you will, you are accomplishing. Don't stop believing. You got this. I love y'all. Let me know, you know what I'm saying, if you got any topics you feel like I should discuss, I should talk about, get with me. Subscribe to my YouTube. Follow me on Instagram at Llewellyn Radford. I got the TikTok popping now. Everything is Llewellyn Radford. That's my name. Yeah, man. We on the journey, baby. No matter if it's bridges, if it's mountains, if it's deserts, if it's oceans, if it's flat land, it don't matter the terrain. We're going to get through it. We're going to get to it. 100. I love y'all, man. Dream on, dreamers. Let's keep going on this journey. Get with me.